Howdy all, this is Shane. We're going to take a look at my Vox AC30. I had done a video on this about a year ago, but I didn't really like it, so I deleted it. And we're going to take a look at this and how it sounds on each channel, and then we're going to daisy chain the channels and see what sort of sounds we can get out of it from there. So this cover that I've got on here was actually purchased off eBay. It doesn't come with the amp. And this is the 2 Celestion model. So we've got 2 greenbacks, which is really cool. I got to AB this with the blue speaker version as well as the hand-wired amps, and my friend and I were both shocked at how much better these models sounded and how much more versatile it was than the hand-wired. That's just our opinion. I mean, I'm not saying the grey amps are bad, but I reckon this left it for dead. So let's take a look, see what it's got. Now the AC30 is sort of like a 2-channel amp, although you can only really use it as a 1-channel amp. And what I mean by that is one of the inputs here feeds a normal volume which bypasses the EQ section here, bass, treble and volume. Now there is a master output over here as well, so you can use just the normal volume, which is like a preamp, and a master here to control the overall sound. Or what you can do is go into the top boost channel and use the EQ to customize your sound just that little bit more. And this also has a volume for the top boost channel, and it still is controlled with the master over here. Now I prefer the top boost channel. The normal channel's okay, but it's not really as nice to my ear as the top boost. Now you can also daisy chain between these channels and have a secondary preamp to give you more dirt crunch. I never really used the amp like that, but we're going to try that out a bit later on, so stay tuned. Now 2 of the best things about this amp is, let's just say, the reverb is pretty much second to none. It's as nice as my Deluxe Reverb. Does that make sense? So yeah, it's really cool. It's very, very usable. It's a hell of a lot nicer than a lot of amps that I've played and used. In comparison to my PV Delta Blues, this reverb leaves it for dead. It's a way better reverb than some of my previous Fender amps. It's up there with my Deluxe Reverb amp easily. It's a really nice reverb, and the onboard tremolo is just awesome. It is so much better and fuller than any of the pedals I've used, with the exception of maybe one, that MXR tremolo is really good. But yeah, there's something about onboard tube amps that have tremolo that just you can't really get close to it with a pedal. It's that much more versatile. We have a standby and a power switch over here. Looking through the back of the amp, you can see the speakers, and you can see the greenbacks. We've got the tubes here, the 12 AX7s, EL84s, and we also have a remote foot switch jack here, so it can control the tremolo and reverb right here. We have an effects loop on the back with a bypass switch here, which is cool. And over here we have an external speaker jack, so you can choose to bypass the internal speakers and use an external box, or we have an extension speaker which will allow you to use the built-in speakers as well as an external speaker box, and that's pretty cool. And you can switch the amp between 8 and 16 ohms, and it's currently set to 16 ohms with these 2 speakers. The cabinet is thick, high quality wood, and I say high quality meaning it doesn't feel cheap and nasty like some of the other amps I've had, although it's probably Chinese wood, whatever that means. It's still really, really good. These are engineered in the UK, but they're made in China, and to be honest, this is the best tone I've ever had with an amp. It's pretty much defined my sound, and it was a major step up from my Fender Blues Deluxe amp. It was really a big difference. I love this thing. Although this is extremely heavy, weighing in at about just under 40 kilos. So that's kilograms, so that's like 78 pounds or something. It's extremely heavy, and it's vented, 3 vents on the back, 3 on the front, 3 handles on the top. So if you've got a good friend who can help you get this amp around, it's well worth it because it's done my neck quite a few times. This is the external foot switch for swapping between tremolo and reverb, and it's very, very straightforward. It doesn't actually come with the amp. I had to buy this separately. It was only about 30 bucks or something. It's metallic, it's good quality. You can substitute this for any other brand pedal, I guess, that does exactly the same thing, but I bought a Vox one, so I can also use this with my Vox AC15, and that controls exactly the same things, so it's really cool.